What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got some nice Buster Blader action for you guys to check out. This will be a multitude of duels, but it's not like an excellent adventures or anything like that. Although I will say this, a couple of the duels are actually competitive. A couple of the other archetypes that he's going to run into are not so competitive, but I still like Buster Blader a lot. I think that it is still a little bit of an undervalued deck. I actually think that it should be one of the prime candidates to get a Link monster, especially considering that Buster Blader has a fusion, you've got synchros, and a lot of times the lock that you really want to establish is the Buster Dragon synchro with the Destruction Swordsman fusion monster, and it's like that's really not going to be possible if they don't get a Link monster. So I definitely think that Buster Blader should get a Link monster. Let's go ahead and roll this. And again, some of the decks that will be played will be competitive, some of them not so competitive. I got respect for what's it called, I've got respect for Dynamis, and this is a light sworn variant of Buster Blader, but you will see some other kind of quirky tech cards like Glow Up Bulb is not a card you generally see that much in a Dynamis build, and he's gonna Pendulum Summon just off the break, but ooh, gets hit with that Quaking Mirror Force, and not gonna lie, I'll be a little salty. I might have actually made Totally Awesome, but because it's like if your opponent was going to Solemn you, they would have summoned the Pendulum Summon and you just would have lost anyways. You see right here, he's going to summon that Buster Dragon, and if he banishes and summons Destruction Swordsman, it might be a wrap. But he summons a second copy of Buster Dragon, then he's going to activate the effect to get Buster Blader from the graveyard. He's going to go into one of my favorite cards, the Hot Ray Dragon Archfiend Abyss. He tries to go D-Barrier to stop Synchros, but Abyss is just going to shut that down. Now he makes Stardust Dragon, and he does bring out that Destruction Swordsman, and that piercing damage is real. Now, the odd thing is, he can't actually stop the Pendulum Summon, so even though he clearly has a big board, I mean, it's not like he can stop Pendulum Summons, but obviously every monster on the board counts as a dragon, and that's what I love when you get this combo, when you get the Destruction Swordsman and you get the Buster Dragon together. It is so difficult to break that, especially if you have Stardust and Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss at the same time. Your opponent can't use those Regekis, they can't activate any other spell effects or trap, because obviously Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss will just say, nope, I'm not gonna let you do that. And then monster effects, every monster has to go in defense mode and can't activate their effects. So it's a pretty hard lock to stop, but this will be the type of field. Well, by the time you guys see this obviously will be in a world where we're under Link format and whatnot. And that's another thing that I would like to kind of address. Well, let me put let me put Buster Blader down here at the let me put Buster Blader down here at the bottom. And this is a true Draco version of Zodiac. I thought it was just pure, but nope. This is like the deck that basically won the North American WCQ. The thing I wanted to address is, obviously, since YGO Pro has not updated, you guys will still see duels like this under the pre-Link format rule. So, don't complain like, oh, Cap G, this is not how Yu-Gi-Oh's played anymore. You guys understand it. So he's going to open up with a really good board, if I don't say so myself. I mean, he has Daigasto Emerald. He has, obviously, the Dynamite, he has the what's it called, the Trident, and I don't really know about that. Hold on, pause, fam, pause. I don't really know. This is like the second person I've seen do that. Like, why would you pop your monster just to replace it with Rapier? Like, what purpose does that serve? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I guess the Trident material isn't really relevant, but I don't know, I just didn't really see a point of that. And I thought that he was probably going to get rolled this duel, but he's going to go Riding. That's going to get hit with Ghost Ogre. He could have used Trident, but guess he felt like he didn't want to use the Trident if he still had a Ghost Ogre in the hand. He's going to draw another card for Freezies, but at that same time, he's going to get that Buster Blader, Destruction Swordsman, and that Buster Dragon, and what are you going to do? He actually just rage quits. That's so hilarious that True Draco just rage quits right there. Yeah, you know what? Actually, is there anything? This is hold on, this one destroys I'm trying to see if this one destroys a card on the, if it destroys, okay, this one, if this card is sent from the, you can, okay, this one is one of the MSTs. I was like, hold on, he had a True Draco Spell and Trap on the field. If he could have attributed it, maybe he could have blown up the Destruction Swordsman and he could have played, but no, this is one of the ones that blows up spells and traps when you tribute. So unfortunately, he'd been able to blow up Soul Charge, but what the fuck would that do? Once you get this board, that is the win condition. Your opponent ain't doing shit as far as monster effects, and clearly all of these monsters on the field aren't doing anything to this 7,800, holy Jesus, this 7,800 Destruction Swordsman. So I guess these are going to be extremely quick. I watched over these, I just don't remember all of them. I do remember, I think there is another one against a water deck, if I'm not mistaken. Well, you know what? I'm not going to spoil it. This is, I think, the most uncompetitive duel where he's playing against like a Predaplant hybrid version that also runs Gandora. A little weird for me, but it's whatever. I still think Ultra Polymerization is an excellent card, and he does open with one, so that's pretty good. He should be able to run over Rafflesia fairly easily with Chimera Rafflesia, and yeah, he's going to go into that. I don't really understand the Grand Pulse. That's like kind of weird to me. There's probably better like 3 Xyzs that he could have went into, some better rank 3s. He does use Instant Fusion and Main Phase 2 to go into Raijin, and he just puts it face down. I guess he wanted to save it, but Twin Twister, I don't really think it's going to be that good against either one of these decks, because this deck really only sets like one card. He's only been setting like 1 or 2 cards tops, a couple of his Buster Blade or Trap cards, but I don't know. I don't think Grand Pulse was the right play there, but I guess there wasn't really much else he could have gone for. Maybe he could have went for Levy or the Sea Dragon or something like that, but he goes with Lumina. You guys are seeing the light towards out of the deck. He goes for Michael just to get rid of that, goes for that Destruction Swordsman, brings back the Buster Blader, and will there be another Synchro? Oh, he brings out Bills this time, and then he brings out the, what's it called? Then he brings out the Destruction Swordsman, and it's not quite game this turn, but he does once again have the lock, and even with his opponent getting that search for the fusion, I mean, I don't really know what El Shadow, or excuse me, I don't even know what the regular Shadow Fusion is honestly going to do to this board. So these are some real quick duels. I should have probably prefaced the beginning of this video by saying that these duels were only going to be a couple of turns. That's my apologies. This last one is against Dinosaurs. Oh yeah, Dinosaurs. I said water because he's going to summon, I think, Megalo Smasher X. Like, I feel like he's going to summon 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm losing my mind. All right, Megalo Smasher X. He's playing the Jurassic World variant, and he searches, okay, and then he's going to summon a second Megalo Smasher X, and he goes for the Bahamut Shark play and the Totally Awesome, and I was like, bro, I think you got this on. I think he definitely has this. Now, I don't really understand this. Obviously, he is walled up with his back row. He has the Destruction Sword, or the prologue to the Destruction Swordsman. I think then he has the Memories. Okay, so, and then he has another copy of Memories. So he can make his combo of Destruction Swordman plus Buster Dragon, but I don't really understand the Trick Clown summon. Like, it didn't attack. It just is weird to me. Like, why wouldn't you just set it? Why take the battle damage potentially? He's gonna try to get the second copy of Totally Awesome on the field, and he doesn't negate either one of these cards. I thought that was kind of weird, and he basically lets him resolve Memories, and he lets him resolve a copy of the Prologue, and now, even though he has 2 copies of Totally Awesome, he totally can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think that he didn't quite understand what was going on. He was like, why do my monsters keep switching to defense mode? Kappa, what's going on? Yeah, he goes for Castel. Obviously, frustration there. I don't think he really understood what happens when you get Buster Dragon and Destruction Swordsman on the foot at the same time. To basically break it down, even though you guys have watched it happen for like 4 straight duels, is basically the Buster Dragon turns every monster your opponent has on their field and in their graveyard to a dragon monster, and then Destruction Swordsman says, I think it's actually just on their field. It might be on their field and graveyard, but I know for a fact it's on the field. And then Destruction Swordsman says that dragon monsters cannot activate their effects and they must go to defense position. So it's basically like that number 41, the big sleeping elephant, or like a pseudo lose 1 turn but permanent. Your opponent's monsters, whether they're normal summon, special summon, everything becomes a dragon, and they have to sit into defense mode, and then they can't activate their effects, and he gets piercing damage. So basically, against something like Totally Awesome, he attacks it a couple of times and basically game. He doesn't have to kill all the monsters like the Castel and the Bahamut Shark on the field. All he has to do is just attack the Totally Awesome. The game's over. So just a nice little display of some Buster Blader action against some semi-competitive decks. The Zodiac True Draco variant, obviously very competitive, but I mean, he got rolled because he didn't know the power of Buster Blader. Anyways, thank you guys for watching as always, and subscribe if you have not already.